Today's episode is sponsored by Midwest Fire. For more than 20 years, Midwest Fire has been manufacturing high-quality tankers, tanker pumpers, and fire rescue vehicles in the United States and Canada. Keeping firefighters safe while enhancing their capabilities is what they do best. To learn more, go to MidwestFire.com.
This is Battalion Chief Stephen Page from the Raleigh Fire Department, and you are listening to the SA Matters radio show with Dr. Rich Gasaway. The SA Matters mission is simple. They want to help us see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes.
Hello, and welcome to episode 61 of the Situational Awareness Matters radio show. I'm your host, Rich Gasaway. The purpose of this show is to improve situational awareness and decision-making for individuals and teams who work in high-risk, high-consequence environments. The SA Matters mission is simple: to help you see the bad things coming in time to avoid bad outcomes. Have you ever experienced or witnessed a near miss or a close call? If you have, I want to extend a very special and personal invitation for you to be a guest on my show. I want to give you a platform to share your lessons learned with others. Please contact me by visiting the samatters.com website and clicking on the Contact Us link on the homepage. Have you ever thought about this? Your lessons learned from a close call could save someone else's life. Think about that for a moment. If you want to share your experience, contact me. I'm coming to you today from up north in beautiful Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, where I'm in town to deliver a situational awareness program for the fire departments of northern Saskatchewan. This has been an exceptionally enjoyable trip for me because of the great Canadian hospitality that I've experienced, and because I got to visit with a good friend and fellow professional speaker, retired Fire Chief Les Karpluk, and his wife, Kathy. Thanks to both of you for treating me to a wonderful evening out. In today's episode, we're going to explore the importance of beginning an incident with the end in mind. You know, have a goal or an objective for why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. This is one of the essential habits that Dr. Stephen Covey discussed in his wildly popular book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. It applies in business, and it applies in emergency response. Let's explore how. Begin with the end in mind. One of the essential components of well-developed situational awareness is being able to accurately predict the future. This prediction should be made during the initial scene size-up, and then it should be updated often as the incident progresses. In this article, the need to begin with the end in mind will be explored, and tips will be provided for how to improve outcome predictions. Levels of situational awareness. Starting off, let's review the levels of situational awareness to form the context for how we get to predicting the future. Situational awareness begins with capturing clues and cues in the environment. All the senses can be used in the process of capturing clues and cues. In the context of emergency response, the senses most often deployed are vision and hearing. This is termed Level 1 situational awareness. At this level, the clues and cues are not comprehended into meaning yet. They are only captured. Level 2 situational awareness is where the clues and cues are processed into meaning. This is referred to as comprehension. The responder may use intuition to form comprehension using subconscious pattern matching, or they may use rational judgment to process the meaning of clues and cues, especially if the situation is novel or never before been experienced. The highest level of situational awareness, level 3, is predicting the future. These projections of future events come through modeling of events based on the individual's collective past experience and training. The more experience and training a responder possesses, the more likely he or she is to have good predictive skills. Projection. The ability to assess a situation and make an accurate prediction about the future may be the single most powerful safety-oriented skill that you can possess. Essentially, projection involves assessing the current situation and making a determination of how the events will unfold. To see the ending of a movie before it arrives. Hollywood is masterful at leading movie watchers in a direction that points to the predictable ending, only to have an exciting twist of fate leave the viewers caught entirely off guard. Screenplay writers take painstaking efforts to develop storylines that are hopelessly unpredictable. That's the hook that sells movies. Standard predictable outcomes. Most emergency scenes do not mimic Hollywood, however, and the outcomes are often predictable if emergency responders possess appropriate levels of training and experience. This is not to say an unpredictable thing can't happen, for we all know that it can. But even some of the alleged unpredictable things are, unfortunately, predictable. For example, a fire in a basement of a structure fire with lightweight construction weakens the floor. If a crew makes entry through the front door of the structure without completing a 360-degree size-up, failing to notice the heavy basement fire involvement through the walkout basement door in the rear, it may be predictable the crew would find themselves imperiled. Or if a crew makes entry into a structure fire that is not properly ventilated of excessive heat and smoke that contains massive amounts of hydrocarbon gases from melting plastics, that they may find themselves in a flashover situation. Or a fire that has weakened the components of construction loses to the forces of gravity and the structure falls down with firefighters inside. Or the firefighters are in proximity to the collapse zone, and it results in casualties. Bad things can happen unpredictably, that is for certain. But many bad things can also be predicted when a responder uses projection to look into the future and envision events prior to them happening. The role of training and experience. To make accurate predictions of future events, assuming that it's not based on luck, responders need to possess training and experience. The higher the risk and the lower the frequency an event occurs, the more important it is to be properly prepared. Responders can enhance experience levels by becoming students of casualty events. There is no shortage of investigative reports that chronicles the casualty events beginning to end. Responders who study these reports can see the emergence of patterns. Many of the events play out in similar and predictable ways. Smoke, fire, and gravity always follow scientific principles. For example, if trying to get your campfire started, you may blow on it to introduce additional oxygen. Blacksmiths used bellows for the same purposes, making their fires hot enough to melt steel. Thus, it should be predictable that a wind-driven fire will behave with similar properties, increasing in intensity and resulting in rapidly increasing heat and fuel consumption. With the proliferation of videos on the internet, it is also much easier now to learn visual clues and cues that are the predictors of bad outcomes. One of those is smoke conditions. It may be difficult to comprehend the properties of smoke through the descriptors used in a written report. Video, however, allows the viewer to see, dramatically, the color, volume, velocity, and density of the smoke, and the changing conditions that are the predictors of the future. Some advice. At the completion of every call, ask yourself, did this turn out as I had predicted it would? If the answer is yes, then take inventory of the clues and cues that helped you make that accurate prediction. If the answer is no, then ask yourself what clues or cues you may have missed or misunderstood that prevented you from making an accurate prediction of the future. If an unexpected outcome occurs, then ask yourself if there's anything you could have done to more accurately predict the future. As you watch videos or read case studies, use the same predictive strategies to assess the clues and cues. It's not enough to simply make a prediction. It's important to painstakingly reflect on indicators that allowed you to make your accurate predictions. It can be very beneficial exercise to do this with a group of responders where ideas and observations can be shared and discussed. Some discussions. Discuss a time when you were able to make an accurate prediction of a future event by assessing clues and cues. Inventory the key indicators that assisted you in your projection. Discuss a time when you were not able to make an accurate prediction of a future event and something entirely unexpected happened. Discuss what the clues and cues may have been that you overlooked that were the indicators of the future. Also discuss what clues and cues changed and how you may have been able to comprehend those changes as indicators of future events. Discuss and inventory the critical clues and cues that are the predictors of the future for various types of emergency events. Discuss how the clues and cues may be difficult to assess or may be misdiagnosed. Discuss some strategies for overcoming these challenges. Before I close today's segment, I want to take a moment to thank the departments and the organizations that have hosted recent Situational Awareness Matters tour stops. Your efforts to bring this valuable and powerful training on situational awareness and high-risk, high-consequence decision-making to your members and others in your region are greatly appreciated. The Illinois Fire Service Institute, the Montana Joint Chiefs, Firefighters, and EMS Conference, the South Dakota Firefighters Association Conference, the Prince Albert Fire Department, and the Spokane Fire Department. If you're interested in attending an upcoming event, you might consider joining me on June 26th or 27th at Flathead County EMS in Kalispell, Montana. I'm going to be taking a couple weeks off for vacation, but then I'll be back on the road, and on July 16th, presenting at the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association Conference in Columbus. July 18th, the Norristown Fire Department in Pennsylvania. July 19 to 21, attending the NSA Conference in Washington, D.C. July 23 and 24, presenting at the West Point Military Academy in West Point, New York. And then on July 25th, presenting at the Aberdeen Proving Ground in Aberdeen, Maryland. If you're interested in attending a program and none of those dates or locations work for you, check out the upcoming events schedule on the SA Matters website. Just head over to samatters.com, click on the blue box on the right side of the homepage that's labeled Upcoming Events Schedule. Here's hoping there's a tour stop near you and we'll get a chance to meet up. If you're not a member of the SA Matters community of learners, please consider joining. There are over 5,000 members connected here on SA Matters, sharing ideas about how to improve situational awareness, how to make better decisions under stress, and how to train members to be critical thinkers and resilient problem solvers. Membership is free, and when you sign up, I'll send you a special report I've created just for the new members called 25 Best Practices for Improving first responder safety. If you're not a member, head over to the samatters.com website and click on the red box on the right side of the homepage that says free membership. As a reminder, every episode of the SA Matters radio show has corresponding show notes pages on the samatters.com website. The most recent episodes scroll on the homepage, but for older episodes, go to samatters.com / and then enter the episode number that is mentioned at the beginning of each show. So, for example, if you want to access episode 55, open up your internet browser, type www.samatters.com / 55, and that'll take you to the page that contains a link to that episode. The show notes page will contain additional information and resources about the episode, and depending on who our guest is, it might also include some scene pictures, video, and audio, and contact information for our guest. The show notes page also has the ability for you to leave questions and leave your feedback on the episode. If you want to get connected with me on social media, you can follow @Rich Gasaway or @SA Matters on Twitter. The SA Matters Twitter community has reached a milestone as we have crossed over 10,000 followers on the Rich Gasaway feed and over 15,000 followers when you add in the SA Matters feed. Wow. Thank you for supporting the mission. You can also get connected with the SA Matters community on Facebook by liking the SA Matters page. And on LinkedIn, you can find me by searching Rich Gasaway on LinkedIn. And thanks to everybody who's connected with me on Facebook and on LinkedIn. I really enjoy sharing the SA Matters content with you there as well. Well, that's it. Episode 61 is complete. Thank you again to our sponsor, Midwest Fire, and thank you to our listeners for sharing some of your valuable time with me today. I really appreciate your support of the SA Matters mission. Again, if you've experienced a near miss or close call event and want to be interviewed on the show, please contact me by going to samatters.com and clicking on the Contact Us link on the homepage. If you like the show, please consider going over to iTunes or Stitcher Radio and subscribing. Search for SA Matters Radio, and please consider leaving some feedback for me there. And if you like the show, leave a 5-star review. Here's a couple of the recent pieces of feedback that I've received on the show. So this one is from Chiefy2. Getting caught up on listening to some of the episodes. This is a fantastic way of spreading the word of SA Matters, and thank you, Chiefy2, for that. Geo1084 said, Chief Gasaway is top caliber leader and educator, keeps us safe by teaching us what to avoid and how to maintain awareness on the fire ground. Thank you, Geo1084, for that. TNELSMN. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce that, but I'll just go with TNELSMN. This is a fantastic show from a very smart man. Oh, thank you for that. Dr. G breaks down the interviews and makes you think of things that might not cross your mind. Moving stories from survivors and powerful lessons to take away. Must listen for anyone in the service. Well, thank you for that. And I appreciate all the feedback that everyone provides, whether it's on iTunes or by email or by posting something on the website following one of the articles. Whatever be the feedback, I certainly appreciate it, both positive and constructive. Your feedback certainly motivates me to want to work harder for you. Be safe out there, and may the peace of the Lord and strong situational awareness be with you always.
You've been listening to the Situational Awareness Matters radio show with Dr. Richard B. Gasaway. If you are interested in learning more about situational awareness, human factors, and decision-making under stress, visit samatters.com. If you are interested in booking Dr. Gasaway for an upcoming event, visit his personal website at richgasaway.com.